Find their tickle spots. Lesson number 11. This is one that I get to elaborate on a little bit more from what I wrote in the book. Number one, children love to laugh. I think parents, we love to laugh. People in general love to laugh. And to find your child's tickle spots is an absolute gift for both you and for your child. I'm going to explain why. First of all, for early childhood development, laughter creates a level of confidence. If you're laughing, you're in a good mood or you're happy. If your child is in a happy and a good mood most of the time, this opens up the floodgates for an opportunity to really empower them in positive ways through tickling. One of my favorite words or phrases from my son, mind you, my first son, is he'd say, "Tickle me, daddy, tickle me." And as I was writing the book, I just read the chapter as I get in. As I was reading the book, I said one of my favorite sounds is when he says, "Tickle me." And the other favorite sound is to hear him actually laugh uncontrollably. But this leads me to, first of all, he likes it. But when you laugh, let me ask you this question, dads, moms. When you laugh hysterically loud, don't sometimes like your stomach get sore? And our core muscles are the basis of us being fundamentally sound, right? It's strength-wise. So if you have a strong core, pretty much everything else falls into place. You can't build your core without other things working more efficiently. So the more your core is built, the better. And we can do that through laughter, especially at young childhood ages. So if your kids are laughing more because you found their tickle spots, you'll develop their core muscles, which will lead them to develop physically faster. So for you parents who want your kids to start walking and crawling and go on and do other things, now I'm going to share a story that alarmed me and concerned me at one point. I have a friend of mine who his son wasn't walking, and he was well past a year old. And at this time, it was my only experience was my own son. And I had done some research and read, and hey, you know what? 15 months isn't horrible, but he really wasn't even crawling much. I ended up spending some time with him and his wife and his child, and my son was a few years old at this point, so I had some parenting experience. Never thought in a million years I'd be doing something like this and empowering dads or moms or parents in general. And I remember watching and witnessing what was going on in the home, and part of the reason I'm doing this video lesson is because of what I witnessed there, realizing that what I was doing isn't necessarily special or different, but if people don't know any better, they can't do any better. So I ended up witnessing mom and dad doing for, and we talked about that in an earlier lesson. The child was reaching for a toy, and I literally will witness mom grabbing the toy and putting it closer to him. If you want your child to walk, you got to allow him to grow. But if he's going to go for something and you just give it to him or her, there's no incentive for them to learn. So I witnessed that, and then I was like, "Oh wow, we got to get this kid crawling and moving." And I had a few moments with just my friend's child and myself. And as I was playing with him, I found in his sternum a little tickle spot. And he started laughing uncontrollably. From the other room, his mom was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing in there?" I said, "I found a good tickle spot. Do you know this one?" She's like, "I've never heard him laugh like that." And I thought to myself, how is it that I, in a short period of time, can find his tickle spot and get him laughing, but yet his own parents hadn't found it yet? And I realized in that moment how important it was, how much I laughed and made my child laugh. To this point, I know all of my kids' tickle spots. They laugh hysterically all the time. I still hear from my near 7-year-old, "Tickle me, daddy, tickle me." We just had a tickle torture this morning, getting him out of bed. What a great way to wake up, right? How would you want to wake up? Frustrated and angry, or being tickled and laughing when you first get out of bed? And that's how we often get up out of bed in the morning. So find your kids' tickle spots. It's going to develop them physically, emotionally, in a positive way, strength wise. So it's a very simple concept, but if nobody tells the importance of it or explains the importance of it, it may get lost along the way. So tickle your kids, make them laugh, make them gain strength, and make them have positive experiences with you. I'll add this because somebody just recently read the book and gave me this feedback. It said it brought back a memory of their father pinning them down and torturing them with tickle time, where it was unbearable and they didn't look forward to it. Do it within reason. If your child says stop, and mine often does, stop. Builds further trust in you when they ask you to do something and you listen because they're feeling uncomfortable. Because oftentimes after that stop, I get, tickle me again. But he created a boundary. I listened to that boundary. And then we continued having fun where he knew he was safe. So find your tickle spots, empower your kids, strengthen your kids, and we'll see you in the next lesson.